Hey everyone, how are we doing? Everyone good? Yeah, awesome, great. So my name's Tom London. I'm a magician and a hacker. So this year, a little bit about me. I was on America's Got Talent and I performed technology magic for the first time and had one of the most viewed auditions of all time. So you can go on YouTube and have a look at that at some point if you'd like to. So today I'm going to be talking to you about hacking technology to create real magic. But before I do that, I think it's best that I explain what is magic. Traditionally speaking, magic is just something that we can't really explain. Arthur C. Clarke would have said any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So in some ways, technology is magic. It's just something that we don't really understand. But traditionally speaking, we kind of think of magic as like a wizard or a witch performing spells or conjuring up things. And the second part of what I want to talk about today is what is hacking. There's a lot of confusion about what hacking is. A lot of us think that hacking is a sort of Mr. Robot, Black Mirror style thing where people are breaking into banks and stealing loads of money, when in truth, hacking is just taking apart something and creating something new from it, maybe perhaps a new different use, or breaking apart some code to use it for something you're passionate about. So with that all in mind, one of the important things about hacking is that it also involves a lot about understanding people. And same with magic, it's about understanding people and understanding us. So first, I'd like all of us to kind of get a little bit acquainted about who we all are. So in case you don't know, for the younger ones in here, we are a part of Generation Z. Some of the older ones, you're going to be millennials or maybe baby boomers, who knows. But we're Generation Z. Generation Z is a really interesting age demographic generation. If you're born after 1995, then you're part of Generation Z. We have an 8-second attention span. So most of you in this room are already probably bored. Right? And this is a function of the fact that everything in our lives today is super instantaneous. If we need anything, we can go open an app for it. If you want to share something, there's probably an app that does it in 8 seconds. In fact, Snapchat is like 6 seconds, I think. Instagram stories a little bit longer. Everything's just like bam, 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 super instantaneous. So with this in mind, I thought I'd try and stop us from getting interrupted, because 31% of you have got some form of ad blocking software on your phone. Or who's got ad blocker? Put your hands up if you've got an ad blocker. Quite a few of you. You don't like to get interrupted, and I don't like to get interrupted. So what I thought I'd do is do something to try and engage you and stop you from looking at your phones. And I also wanted to show you something a little cool that I've been working on. So I'd like you all to get your mobile phones out. And if you have an iPhone, you've just updated it to iOS 11.1, I think it is, you'll be able to open the camera app, and you'll be able to scan this QR code, and it will just open up a push notification, which will ping open a web page. If you don't have that, if you've got an Android, then what you can do is go onto your web browser on Safari and type in lifehack.tech. What's going to happen then, you'll see a page. It will ask you 2 questions. Do you have an iPhone? Do you have an Android? And secondly, do you want to come on stage? Do you not want to come on stage? Doesn't really matter which one that is, because if I want to come on stage, I'm just going to pick on you anyway. So answer those questions. Once you've done that, keep that open. And while you're doing that, let me explain. So as a hacker, some of the things I do sometimes is trying to take control of people's devices, and everyone's very scared about the idea of someone being able to hack their mobile phone or their Twitter or their Instagram. So I thought about, how could I hack everyone in an entire room? How could I take control of an entire room? Well, obviously the only way to do it would be to take control of your mobile devices. So how could I do that? Well, I was thinking about this long and hard, and it would be very hard to hack you if you aren't on the Wi-Fi network. So if you aren't on the Wi-Fi network, you can still take part, because I came up with a little way to demonstrate the concept of being hacked. So what's going to happen in a moment is I am going to take control of this entire room and simulate what would happen if someone could hack everyone's phones. And in essence, control what they display on your screens. So I think we're ready to give that a go. Can you all hold your phones up in the sky? Fabulous, that's great. And as you can see now, I'm now taking control of your phones. I can display anything you want on them. It's kind of cool. Keep them up, keep them up. So let's say, for example, I want to turn them all red. Or, I don't know, should we go black first? Red. I could turn them all to a different color. Perhaps I can make them all blue. And you'll see all your devices now turn blue. And this is cool, because if you think about it, I could even show something like emojis or videos. Let's try with emojis. That'd be quite good fun. And if you look at your devices, we'll see a load of different things popping up. And what's nice about this is that if you keep your phones up, what I can also do is open up an app or instigate some sort of incentive on your devices. So if you have a look now, you'll find you should now be on Twitter in 2 seconds with a pre-filled tweet to tweet about what just happened. And this is just a little insight into what it might be like in the future when someone can really just take control of anyone's devices at any moment. So make sure you tweet this tweet now and share it online. Thank you. So with this in mind, are we really in control? We live in a world today where everything you do is being recorded, analyzed, put into an algorithm, and fed back at you. You think you have privacy, in truth, we really don't. There are magicians, programmers as we call them, but I like to think of them as magicians who are a lot smarter than us that are doing things with our data to trick and deceive us. So with this in mind, what I thought I'd do is take you guys back a little bit. So how does this link into magic, and how does technology link into magic? Well, traditionally speaking, magicians have always just been early adopters of technology. So I want to take you guys back to 1907. And in 1907, two brothers in France invented the cinematograph. These two brothers, Lumiere brothers, invented a device, and it was essentially a projector attached to a camera. And what it could do is it could play what we would call a film and project it onto a screen. It was a massive revolution in technology and has invented cinema as we know it today. And what's interesting about this is that it was only 2 weeks after this that a guy called David Devant, a world-famous magician at the time, saw this technology and thought, you know what? I could use this in a magic trick to deceive people. So when I heard about this, I went on a mission to try and discover what he built. And he actually went to the Lumiere brothers and said, can I please buy this cinematograph? That's a hard word to say, you know. Cinematograph. Can I buy it from you? And they said, no, of course not. So he went and built his own. He hacked his own one. And I actually went to Magic Circle. The president let me use this video. This is the first time this has ever been seen outside of the walls. And only Magic Circle members can actually go into Magic Circle. So this is the first time anyone's ever going to get to see this. And this is a video from 1907. And what David Devant here is doing is he's actually edited this stop motion video to create what looks like his head disappearing, and you'll see this in 2 seconds. And this is the first instance of stop motion cinema ever, and it was made by a magician trying to deceive one. So the ties between technology and magic are actually quite close. Sometimes technology is pushed forward by people like magicians who are trying to use it to deceive and trick people. So moving on with this, I want to talk a little about sleight of hand and motion. We're talking about cinema now and illusions with frames. I want to talk about how magicians perform sleight of hand. So sleight of hand is what occurs when magicians perform something quicker than the eye. And in order for me to explain how this works, I have to first explain how the eye works. So the human eye can see at 1,000 frames per second. And what that means is every single second, your eye is taking 1,000 pictures, and then it's stringing them together in a constant stream. But what magicians realize very early on is that if you were to move an object, when you're looking at it, your eye actually has a very hard time tracking that object. And as a result, your eye has to shut down a little bit and it starts operating at 40 frames per second. So what I thought would be cool is, now I've told you how this works, is if I just show you this in working effects, so to speak. Does anyone have a note I can borrow, like a £5 or a £10 note? Does anyone have any cash in the front row? You do? Can I borrow some? Fabulous. Okay, so what's your name?
James.
James has got £10 here. So now you know how sleight of hand works. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform a sleight in between 2 of the frames out of those 40 frames. So it could be frame 23 and frame 24, but it's going to happen so quickly that your eye won't actually physically see it. So even though you know it's coming, you'll completely miss it. So we've got £10. I'm just going to fold this up just like this. And what's going to happen is you're going to see it change from a sort of brown color into a like reddy pink, much like a 50, yeah, there we go, £50 note. Isn't that crazy? So I tell you what, James, I'll give you a chance to win this. It's your lucky day. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. If you can guess it, you can have it. What do you think it is?
7.
Oh, it was 8. So close. So I'll change it back. And yet again, it's going to happen in between 2 of those frames, so you won't see it. You see it change into a brown? And there we go. We have a plastic £10 note, and that's James's. There you go. Thank you very much, buddy. Give a round of applause for James, please. Thank you. So magicians have always been technically early adopters. In a way, magicians who perform sleight of hand understood that you could hack the mind and the human mind to deceive it. And at the time, that was the most sufficiently advanced technology. But today, things have changed. Now we have more advanced technology, but we'll get onto that in a little bit later. So another early adopter I'm a massive fan of is a gentleman. I'm going to take you back first to 1878. So does anyone recognize this year? I doubt any of you do, because it's a bit random. 1878 is the year that Thomas Edison released his world-famous light bulb, which is kind of what revolutionized electricity. Prior to that, there hadn't been much public knowledge of electricity. So anyway, that was 1878. Well, before that, in 1856, there was a very famous magician named Jean Robert Houdin. Does anyone recognize that name? Yeah, of course you do. You recognize the Houdin. And you'll be surprised to know that this is the guy who actually inspired Houdini, the world-famous magician Houdini, who we all, of course, know. So Jean-Robert Houdin, what he did is he invented this incredible trick that he would perform on stage. And it consisted of this. He would have a box, and he would take it and place it on a stage, and then he'd ask a lady to come on the stage and to pick it up and put it back down again. And then he would find the biggest, strongest man in the room and ask him to do the exact same thing. And every time he did it, he would be unable to pick the box up from the stage. And everyone would be in shock and awe. And all of a sudden, he'd snap his fingers, and he'd pick the box up and walk off. And it was an incredible trick. Now, what was interesting about this is that in 1856, Jean-Robert Houdin was asked by Napoleon Bonaparte to go to the French Algeria and perform this to prevent a rebellion happening. And what he did is he performed this for the tribespeople who were rebelling and pretended that he was a godly power and that France had this godly power. And they actually believed it. And they stopped rebelling as a result of this magician. And little did they know that all that was happening is that inside this box he had a magnet. And underneath the stage, he had an electromagnet. And all he was doing was turning on the electricity. And when the electricity turned on, the magnet would activate and you couldn't move the box. But no one knew what electricity was at this point. So to everyone else, it was just pure magic, when in truth, it was just an extremely sufficiently advanced technology that people were unaware of. So, technically speaking, are magicians the original hackers? And is it our job to hack technology to inspire and perhaps deceive people? So I was thinking about the technological advancements of our age. We don't have electricity, we've missed the whole dot-com revolution. What's happening today? And then I was thinking about magicians typically have assistants that aid them on stage to do supernatural feats. So I was thinking to myself, what sort of assistants would I employ in today's world? So I was trying to understand what things would I like to be able to do? What would be an incredible illusion or trick for a magician to perform? And before I continue, I'd like to make this very aware to you. Does everyone notice this box that's been hanging here? I didn't point it out at the start because I thought I'd just let it hang there and see if anyone noticed, but no one's noticed it yet. I have a box hanging up right there. There's a padlock on it, and that's going to stay there for the rest of the show. And I want to make sure that it doesn't move, so all of you can keep a little subconscious peek over there and check that no one comes near it. But it is locked and it's hanging by a piece of rope. So when I was thinking about what I'd like to do, one of the tricks I'd like to perform is I'd like to be able to perform sleight of hand, much like the sleight of hand you just saw, except with something a bit more advanced. So I thought about this and I thought, well, what if I used autonomous drones? What if I could get autonomous drones to perform sleight of hand? And then I thought this a little bit more and I thought, okay, well, obviously I want to be able to read people's minds, but with technology, how would I do that? And then I realized, well, it's just an obvious answer. I can use artificial intelligence. So let's go to the first one, artificial intelligence. What I've actually done is, why don't I start with this? So I have a pack of cards here. Here's what we'll do. So normal pack of cards, 54 cards in the deck, 52 if you don't include the jokers. I tell you what, would you mind just saying stop? Is that all right? Stop. Okay, take the card, have a look at it. Yep, you got it. Place it in the pack. Wonderful. Just look at me. High, low, high, low, high, low. Okay, high card. Red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. Black. Spade club, spade club, spade club, spade club. Jack of clubs? Jack of clubs? Jack of clubs. It was Jack of clubs. Thank you. The hesitation in your face. So this is a trick that magicians have been doing for a long time. It's mind reading. And how we do this is basically what we're doing is we're looking for signals that people give in their face to try and read their minds. So typically you heard me say a few things like what card it is, what color it is, what suit it is. And I'm just looking for very simple signals to confirm what the card actually is. So I thought, okay, well, what if I could teach an AI to do this, to take over that role? So I did. So what I did over here, you can see I've got this little this camera. So what I've done is I've got a Raspberry Pi hooked up to a 3D camera. And what that's doing is that's processing all of the image data, and that gets sent off in real time using a data messaging service onto a server on the internet, and then that's decoding all of that, making an assumption, and then it sends it back down through the internet. I've got a little 4G hub there, so it's nice and quick. And then it gets fired into Alexa, and Alexa handles the voice part. So Alexas are really straightforward. If you guys are into hacking, buy yourself an Alexa, because in about 5 minutes, you can probably teach it to say anything you want, and it's always really good fun to do that. Annoy your parents. So that's what I've done. So I wanted to give this a little test and see if we can get it to work. I'm hoping we can. So to do that, I need a volunteer. So who would like to come up? This little gentleman here. How you doing? Can we have a round of applause for this guy to come on stage? How you doing? You forgot your charger there. You want to plug that in? Do you need charging? Or? No, you good? How you doing? I mean, you really are a cyborg. Tom, how you doing, buddy? Come over here. Okay, what's your name?
Alex.
Alex. Okay, Alex, here's the deal. So I've got a pack of cards. Let's stand right here for me in front of the camera. So here's what you're going to have to do. Okay, and maybe just lower that a little bit, because that is going to have to see your eyes, not mine. Yes, there we go. Okay, Alex, so what I want you to do, we've got a pack of cards. Go through them, have a look at them. Normal deck of cards. Are you happy with them? Yeah? I've seen loads of cards in my life. So here's the deal. You can put them here after you're done, but I want you to pick any card. It's completely up to you. Don't let me to see it. Whack it down on the table, and it's very important that you put your hands up like this and look straight at the camera. Before we do this, Alexa, hello.
Hello, Tom.
Oh.
How can I help you?
Fantastic, she's working. That's close. Okay, you ready? So whack it down on the table, and and hands up just like this. Look at it, and we're going to give it a go. Let's see if this works. Okay, fingers crossed. Just think about the suit. We're going to start with the suit. Okay, I don't want to overload at the start. Alexa, what suit is the card? No. Alexa, what suit is the card?
Alex has picked a club.
Can you reveal the card for me, Alex? What have you picked? Ladies and gentlemen, it is in fact a club. There we go. Whew. Okay. So what's going on here is that my little program is using the exact same signals that I was using earlier to try and determine what the suit is. Now, this is a 1 in 4 chance. So I thought, let's try and make it a little harder. Let's try 1 in 13. Alex, can you pick a different card for me? We'll do it again. And yet again, same thing again, whack it down the table, hands up, just like that. Yeah, good work. And look at the camera. And then we're going to give this a go. Think about, clear your mind. I know it's hard. Think about, that was quick. It's quicker than I was expecting. I want you to think about now the number, the rank of the card, okay? You got it? All right, give it a second. Okay. Alexa, what is the number of the card?
Alex has picked a 3.
Alex, can you please reveal the card to everyone? It is, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, the 3. Okay. Let's go through it one more time. Yeah? Okay. Pick a card, anyone you want. Whack it down on the table, same thing again. And yeah, do you want to do hands up? Go for it. And think very carefully now about the card. Try and do it in a way where you're thinking of the number, then the suit. The number, then the suit. Good work. You're doing a great job. All right. Okay. Alexa, what is the card?
Alex has picked the 9 of hearts.
Alex, please can you reveal to everyone what the card is? Ladies and gentlemen, it's in fact the 9 of hearts. We have a massive round of applause, please, for Alex as he takes a seat. Thank you so much, buddy. I mean, if you've ever tried to get Alexa to order anything off Amazon, you'll know how temperamental it can be. So I'm very happy that just worked. So essentially, moving forward, my idea is how can we teach machines to do the supernatural? And as you've just seen, it is actually possible when you've applied the right sort of techniques. So anyway, this being said, I spoke about sleight of hand. And what I thought would be really cool is how could I teach drones to perform sleight of hand? Well, the first thing I'd have to work out is how do I control drones in the first place? And I'm going to tell you this story because this is what happened. I walked into an electronics store in London, and I saw a drone that was for sale. And I looked on the box, and it said that there was something called Swift Playgrounds available on the back of it. I opened up Safari, and I found out that on an iPad, you can code robots. I think there's a few people here today who have been talking about it, how you can program your own robots using Swift. And I thought, okay, I can program, let's give this a go. So I bought this, took it home, and within about 5 minutes, I had this drone autonomously flying around the room. That was a struggle. And performing cool tricks. So I thought a little bit more about this. I thought, okay, 1 drone is pretty interesting, but what if I could do 3? So I went online and I found some code that someone had written for a node server on how to control a swarm, and it wasn't working, but after a few days I managed to get it working. And what this allowed me to do was to program a swarm of drones to act collectively and also independently by hacking their onboard Bluetooth controllers built into their microcontrollers on board of the drone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this now. I have got on the side of the stage here 3 autonomous drones, and we're going to take these out. That's number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, so before I do this, I'm going to need someone's help. I have got a $1 note here somewhere and a pen. There we go, cool. Okay, how you doing? Oh, hello, how you doing? I got this, can you help me out? What's your name?
Ismail.
Ismail, can you put your name on there for me? Nice and big and bold. Go ahead. So what we're going to do is we've got a $1 note, and you're just going to write your name on it really big. And this is, there's only one note in existence that has got his name on it. This is actually illegal, by the way, but don't worry, I'm not going to tell anyone. Good job, I'll take the pen. Thank you very much. And you can take a seat. Okay. So there we have it. Can you all see that? Signed note? Yeah? Fantastic. Okay, so you remember what I did earlier with regards to the sleight of hand trick, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to fold this up nice and tight, and we're going to put this in here. There we go. Just like that on top of that drone. Plug that in, and put that one there. So what I've got here is I've got 3 drones. Each drone has got a note on it, and your note is on the end. Can you see it just there on the end? So I'm going to move that a little bit closer. Fabulous. Now on the other 3 drones, I've put 2 other notes. We've got a euro and we've got a pound. And this is just for a little bit of misdirection because I thought it'd be fun to confuse you all. Right, let's give this a go. So like I said, what I've done is I've just written some code that is sending Bluetooth signals out to try and control these drones. There's no SDK or API that I've learned. I literally went online and found someone who had tried to do this and got in touch with them and started building this. So let's take them all off. There we go. So what's cool is they can act together or independently in a swarm. Isn't that great? So you remember how I was saying earlier at the start about sleight of hand happening in a small moment? When you saw the drones flip, what I was actually doing there is I was using that as a misdirection to get you guys to think about the drones flipping. And if we take the first drone, what we're going to do is have a look here. Oh, a second one, and lastly the third one. So we have a look at the notes here. We find we've got our euro, which is blank, like this, blank euro. We've got our pound over here. This one's blank as well. Ta-da, they haven't changed places, and we've got our $1. But the thing about this is that the signature's actually completely disappeared. You guys see that? Gone. So what I did here is I used the drones flipping to distract you. What happened is in between 2 of those frames, like I said earlier, the drones performed a little bit of sleight of hand. But don't worry, I've still got some money on me. I've actually got a lemon just here. Can you see that? So look, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut open this lemon, just like this. And can you come over here? Is that right? Just come to the front. Watch out for that. Can you just have a look inside there? Look, you should find, oh, there is. Can you see that? There's a note. Would you take that out for me and unfold it? You will find, in fact, that has actually got, it's a bit weird, isn't it? You've got clean fingers. Fantastic. A $1 note with your name on it. Look at that. There you go. Ismail, take that for me. Give a round of applause, please, as he takes a seat. So if anything you should take back from that is I am by no means the best programmer in the world. Please go out and buy some of these robots and just start playing around with them, and you'll come up with loads of ways to do cool stuff. So moving on, I want to talk to you guys now about math and magic, and this is something I'm really, really passionate about. But in order to do this, I'm going to need a few people to help me, and I'm also going to grab this on stage. So does anyone have an iPhone? Need someone with an iPhone? This guy here, how you doing? Give a round of applause, please. Come on stage. Come on up. Can we have a round of applause, please, as he comes on stage? There we go. Fabulous. Great work. What's your name? Antonio, how you doing? Okay, I'm going to put this over here. Good work, Antonio. Okay, wonderful. And this is an iPhone 1. It wasn't what I was expecting, but we can probably make this work. Okay, you've got a PIN number, Antonio.
Yes.
That's okay. I'm going to try and guess that. Okay. How old are you, Antonio?
17.
17. That should be easy. Okay. What year is that? 17. Yeah. Okay, cool. There we go. I just had to unlock your phone. I wanted to get the calculator. Now we've got that out of the way. Here's what we're going to do, Antonio. Just follow the instructions very carefully. We're going to clear your calculator to start with. Give me any number between 1 and 100.
77.
Type 77, and now multiplied. Now just hit the number. I want you to type in 10. And now hit multiplied again. Just multiplied. And what's it give you?
770.
777. The calculator works. Yes, great cheer. Okay, so keep that open. Don't do anything with it. I'll ask you guys a few questions. So can we have show of hands? Who wants to answer a few questions for me? Show of hands. This lady over here. Hello. How many tweets do you think have been sent in the last hour? How many tweets do you think have been sent in the last hour? Hundreds? Give me a number. Go for it. Let's go less than 100 just for fun. Last 10 minutes. Are you sure 95? Are you sure? You're changing your mind a lot here. Which one do you want? 67. Yeah, okay, so just type 67 and then multiplied. Now I'm going to write this down on my board. Ooh. So first we had 67. We had, what was your number again?
707.
The first number, you said 77, didn't you? Times 10. Okay, 67, cool. Next up, another show of hands, please. Okay, this gentleman here, how are you doing? Okay, so let's think about this. How many people in this room do you think use their birthday as their phone passcode? As a percentage, let's go as a percentage. 40. Would it be exactly 40%, or would it be maybe a few more? 43, so just type 43. No, you hit times? 43? No, we've now started again. Sorry. No, okay, we'll just redo this equation.
77 times 10.
Yeah, we got you. Don't worry. Okay, sweet. Right, that's good. So what was the number, sorry? 43. 43, okay, multiplied. Hold that for me. Sweet, we're going to write 43 just there. One more person? How you doing? Yeah, cool. Okay, silly question. Let's go with something fun. What size feet do you have? In European? 40, you sure you want to go to 43? Looks at dad, is it? I don't know. Type 43, cool, and then hit times. So the next question, we had another 43, that's interesting. 2 43s, okay. I want you to type in, let's go with any digit number. It can be 1, 2, 3, or 4 digits. Anything you want, type it in and hit equals. It's completely up to you. You got it? Yeah, hit equals? Yeah. What's the number we got?
71.
Can you just read this out for me? 70.02. Is it? Okay. 71.02. Okay.
No, doesn't sound right.
No? Oh, it's bigger. There's more, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah. Okay. It's okay, Antonio. It's your first time on stage. Don't worry about it. 71.02.
No, it's 71, comma.
Oh, it's a comma. Oh, okay. It's a big number. 71.02. 1.
And then comma
14.
0.
Fantastic, guys. Give a massive round of applause for Antonio as he takes a seat. Thank you so much. Take a seat, buddy. Well done. Thank you. Okay, sweet. We got there. So what this was is I wanted to ask a few random questions and I wanted random answers. And I'm sure you guys all saw that every time I asked a question, what I did was I made sure you didn't give me a round figure like 50 or 60. I asked you to give me a specific number like 47 or 43. And we got 77 at the start, then we got 67, then we got 43, and then we got 43 again. And now we've got our big number after Antonio's mysterious entry. And it's fair to say there's no way I could have known what those answers were going to be. I didn't know what your shoe size, despite my incredible vision. I couldn't have guessed that number. Couldn't have known the 43, couldn't have known the other 43, or the 77. Yes? Fabulous. Okay, let's run back to my slides. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is how that, obviously machines can perform things like mind reading, because as we've seen today with AI, we can perform mind reading, and they can also perform sleight of hand, as we've seen with the drones. But one of the things that I'm really intrigued about, and I'm sure will happen perhaps in our lifetime, is Without time travel, how would a machine do what I'm about to show you? And that is, in essence, predicting the future. How would we ever get a machine that can effectively predict the future? Perhaps one day magicians can teach machines how to do it, and we'll finally arrive there. You guys, the box, it's been there the whole time, yes? Yeah, we all happy with that? Okay, let me lower that down. I know I'll do dramatic entry from stage right. Looks about right, there we go. Can we have a drum roll as the box comes down, please, ladies and gentlemen? A prolonged drum roll. There we go. Keep it coming, we're almost there. Fabulous, good work, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna unlock this, just like this, and you'll find that inside this box, ladies and gentlemen, I in fact have a glass tube. It's been locked inside the box since the very start. And I'm going to undo this glass tube. And if you wouldn't mind helping me, would you mind just grabbing that and taking it on stage? Come on stage with me. Can we have a round of applause, please, as he comes on stage. The mysterious scroll. Okay, just like this. Can you put your fingers like that? Teamwork. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from the very beginning of the show, I have predicted that the first card that would get selected would be a club, a 3, and then the 9 of hearts. Thank you. Next up, that Antonio would come on stage. He would pick 17, 77, 63, 43, 43. He'd multiply the 77 by 10. Don't know what the 17 was about. I made a mistake there, but oh well. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, that the number we would derive at, written on the board next to us, would in fact be 71,021,140. Thank you. Has anyone worked it out yet? Anyone worked it out? The number thing? No? I wanted you to remember today all of the great speakers you've had, all the fun you had learning about new technology, and that's why if you read this number backwards, what you're actually going to find is it's today's date, the 4th of the 11th, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Tom London. Thank you so much for listening to my talk. It's been a real pleasure.